Hello everyone, welcome back to Taiko World Cup 2024. I'm Janitor, joined by Luminite. How are you doing?
Hello, it is good to be back. Took a little bit of a break, got some refreshments, I had some lunch. It was very good lunch, I had some Chipotle.
Oh, okay, that sounds good.
Chipotle with carnitas, and I paid additional for the guacamole. Because if you don't, then are you really doing Chipotle right?
What is a carnita?
Okay, so that is a Mexican way of making pork, essentially. It's very good.
Okay, I
It's
see.
delicious. It's delicious, yes.
Well, speaking of, we have the USA versus Peru, which is looking to be an interesting match between the 4th seed and the 29th seed.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be an uphill battle for Peru. The U.S. Every year the U.S. has set out to prove that they are able to make that top 3 podium, and every year they have fallen short. So this is the beginning of the U.S.'s journey. This year, 2024, their attempt yet again. Qualifiers, 4th seed, the top 3 teams really doing phenomenally. But I mean, you know, whenever it comes to teams that want a podium, it's really all about the journey. Like literally, and that's like, it's not the cliche, it's literally about who wins against who loses against who. Are you gonna get lucky, or are you going to get unlucky? And Peru, they're gonna have a hard time against the United States. RJ, Aurora, Zoc, Cheese Salad, Silver Tyrant, and Miniature Lamp, all 6 phenomenal players, and Peru does not have a full roster. So it's gonna be an uphill battle.
The US is historically a very strong early round team, if nothing else. Like, they just completely dominate on early rounds. So this is definitely an uphill battle for Peru.
We're gonna get underway with things. We're coming off the end of an exciting match from, what is it called? Those 2 countries that we just won. Turkey and Poland. We're coming off the end of that very exciting tiebreaker. Turkey coming back from a 4-1 to a 5-4. And we're going to see how it fares out. How are we going to follow up that exciting match? Well, hopefully Peru takes a point off the U.S. is what we're looking for.
I think they might be able to do it, honestly. I mean, sometimes the US just does a bit too much happy gaming and end up throwing away a point in the early rounds, just to ruin people's pickups, I guess, but it has happened before.
Alright, so the United States is banning first, which means Peru won the roll. So they're going to be picking first. Let's see what the US is going to ban here.
Yeah, I could see them just banning a no mod, just because those tend to be riskier for better teams, and yeah, no mod won the easiest map in the pool, I think.
And now we're going to see what Peru wants to ban.
Yeah, it's hard. The US is just a very well-rounded roster. So I could see them banning free mod, because stronger teams are typically a lot better on free mod.
Tachikin is confident they're going to get 1 point off of the Americans here. Peru gets 1 point. We mess up everyone's challenge.
That is what happens.
All right, so we're going to look for that 1 point. We're going to look for that one Peruvian point. Hopefully a little bit more than 1 point for the Peruvians.
I think they might be able to. Sometimes just things happen.
All right, and Peru banning DT1. Computer Blues, Manganeko.
Yeah, DT is just also not fun when you're up against a country with generally better accuracy players.
Where are they going to go? Is their first pick going to be their first point? Let's see. They have quite a bit of places to go. The United States deciding to ban the no mods, definitely probably where Peru has a better chance of possibly out-consisting them. Possibly. But there's also the hidden, the Hard Rock, that 1 DT left, and both free mods are available. They have a lot to go on right now.
Yeah, No Mod 4 is typically a really good equalizer map between a stronger and a relatively weaker team, just because it's mostly based on how much you're practicing, and it's pretty easy to surprise teams with it. I don't know if that's a strategy they want to go with, though, because that means they would also need to have 3 people to have be able to play that sort of map.
Yes, the U.S. has a history of having not one, not two, but multiple players that are strong at playing gimmick picks. So that might not be exactly the equalizer that Peru is looking for. But if Peru has practiced it, it could prove to be useful for them. Looks like they're having trouble picking, but they're going to go with number 3, Amankun.
Number 3, Nomad Amankun. So it's also a relatively easy map. We see a lot of good scores on it, but it's also relatively fast. 260 is still, I think, in a comfortable range for most people.
So Silver Tyrant, a new U.S. player, has come up in the past year or so. Probably one of the strongest American players. RJ, the captain this year, joined by Cheese Salad on the American side. Peru is going to be running Dinky, Fabric Gamer, and Alamagno 333.
Unfortunately, Mongo is a very different person. Alright, so US has their speed roster, I suppose. And I would expect if a team misses, they might actually just lose. This is fast like that.
I believe we saw that on our last match. The team that missed ended up, in fact, losing the map. So we could see a repeat of that here. Ashikin actually coming in now on the Peruvian side.
Alright, a very timely swap with like 5 seconds left.
Right off the bat, short, small accuracy advantage for the United States. Patchkin with the lowest accuracy, but only at 98.6. All 3 American play. Oh, nope, never mind.
Yeah, if I'm reading the UR bar correctly, they are hitting, or maybe too early. But Patchkin does find a miss though. I think he's hitting a little late, or a little late. I forget how to read the UR bar now.
Yeah, the further to the right is late, the further to the left is early.
Yeah, so maybe some minor offset issues for Peru.
Halfway through the map, Americans have a 60,000 point lead, just about. Silver Tyrant holding a double S, the only double S left in the lobby.
Yeah, this is a difficult score gap to overcome on this sort of map, especially with a bunch of the Peru team still dropping accuracy here and there.
Cool story, babe. Now make me a sandwich.
Yeah, the difficulty now is the score gap is such that, well, 100,000 points almost means like 3 misses, probably, at least.
Yeah, especially with Patchigan missing again here at the end, and Dinky as well. This is going to be a comfortable first pick, or first points rather, for the US. It's going to be a break point.
Yeah, Silver Tyrant still with the double S, definitely showing the speed chops.
Silver Tyrant with a double S.
Yeah, just a really solid team score from the US. Okay, now back to the US's pick. I mean, they could pick anything they wanted, but I would expect Fremont might be the biggest difference. Actually, they're going for Nomad 4, which is interesting. So I suppose they think Peru probably doesn't have a good roster for it.
Yeah, so yeah, we talked about Nomad 4, the gimmicks always being those equalizers. United States picking it, not not a good sign to back up that equalizer idea. Like I said before, the US does have has consistently had a strong set of players to play gimmick maps.
It's only a good equalizer if you practice the map.
Yeah.
If you don't have the players to do it, and in 3v3 it's a bit harder to have a good gimmick roster, then it can be a problem. Yeah, it's pretty much either you're getting like 99.5% on this map, or you're getting like 90%. Okay, yeah, I'm assuming that Peru is not going to have a good time on this, just from their own comments about it.
Yeah, that face when nobody played the map is a little worrying.
Yeah, Aurora and Minilab coming in, both are pretty strong gimmick players. For the US, RJ still staying in, generally a very good core player for the US, playing a whole bunch of games.
Yeah, it's a little surprising now to see Cheese Salad step in for the US. Probably one of the more well-known American gimmick players. But you know, this might be a map that's so strong for the US that the difference between any of the three players we see on the American side and Cheese Salad has been like maybe 1 or 2 100s. We're about to see how strong they perform.
Yeah, and the US actually has a very strong roster for gimmick maps. They have like at least 3 to 4 different really good gimmick players, so they're not exactly short on options. Yeah, you can see the low SV section really throwing off some of the players from Peru, which is not a good sign because there are a lot of those.
Yeah, Pachikin really struggling, Dinky struggling a little bit less, but definitely proving to be difficult. Both players underneath 90% accuracy.
Yeah, the Dawn Kama section, which is where you have like one note coming really quickly while the other notes are kind of slower. Not treating Peru very well. Alamagno actually still hold. Okay, well, he was holding on, but relatively speaking, is the best player on Peru. Yeah, meanwhile, the US just absolutely without a care in the world.
Yeah, Mini Lamp with a double S so far. RJ with 100, Aurora with a few 100s more.
Yeah, this is a very dominant pick with 2 players on Peru below 92, and the US basically on like maybe a grand total of 10 hundreds across their entire team.
Mini Lamp breaking his double S. Patchkin finding a miss here at the end of the map.
Yeah, that is a very dominating pick from the US. Just 11 100s total, no big deal.
710.9 thousand point differential. I think one of the biggest we've maybe seen this weekend.
Yeah, that's what happens with gimmick maps. You really need to spend the time to grind it out. Okay, Peru has the next pick, but I don't know what they would go for. I think they're weaker at odds. Oh, so they're going double time 2. It's like a relatively normal map. It's just, I think it's like 240 BPM, which isn't all that fast. But the patterns are pretty typical. Yeah, but the US roster also has a very strong double time roster, with Silver Tyrant especially being pretty well known as a pretty cracked double time player.
Yeah, backed up by Aurora and RJ, Dinky, Pachigan, and Alamagno still running on the Peruvian side.
Well, no longer backed up by RJ, being backed up by Cheese Salad. Yeah, it's just another big advantage that the US roster has compared to even some of the other top teams, that they have a very, very deep team pool to really pull out of. They have incredible depth as a team.
Yeah, as we say in Spanish for cheese salad, we say ensalada de queso. If you would like to know,
And what does that mean?
it means cheese salad.
Oh, I thought you were talking about having like a deep team to pull from.
No, it means cheese salad.
I thought it's something more profound, but it's just cheese salad.
No, it's very profound. What do you mean? Cheese salad is extremely profound, or profound.
Yeah, and again, starting with the map, kind of the same story as before, where Peru is just a little bit too behind on accuracy. Or I guess it's more so the US being incredibly dominant in terms of accuracy.
Pachigan the first to find a miss here.
Yeah, Dinky's still holding on pretty well. Alamagno as well, but their accuracy is just not quite good enough. Cheese Salad, the weakest of the 3 in terms of accuracy, is still above 99.
Silver Tyrant once again running his double S as we approach the halfway mark here.
Yeah, I don't think he's played in a lot of tournaments before, so this is a really good showing for him. Yeah, the US roster is just very tough to crack this year. A very well-rounded team. Some really good scaling for the late game. It's going to be difficult to take them down.
We got Dinky finding a miss now, Patchkin finding one a little bit ago. So 2 of the Peruvian players now away from that combo cap, as once again the score continues to go towards the American side. Silver breaking his double S though.
Alamagno is still holding on to the full combo, so I guess that's a bit of a Pyrrhic victory there, or a victory of world. But yeah, Silver Tyrant, ridiculous accuracy. 1/100 maybe, or 2 100s. Yeah, just a really consistent team. 2 100s from Silver Tyrant, which I think is the best accuracy we've seen so far, or one of the best.
All right, we have 2 more. Well, we have a few more picks. Hopefully, Peru looking to get that at one point that Pachigan said was going to ruin everyone's challenge brackets.
Oh, and and unsurprisingly, there's a Fremont pick. I think USA is one of the teams that stands to benefit the most from the Fremont rule changes because they could just go 3-hit hard rock. I think for longer than some other teams can, so I would expect to see 3-hit hard rocks.
Oh, Zoc coming in for Silver Thailand. Tyrant. Ugh, I keep mixing up my R's and L's today.
Yeah, Silver Thailand, the famed double time player from the US. We do have Zoc coming in, who he's played a lot before at previous TOCs. Yeah, Peru just generally having... Actually, I don't remember how many players they have, but they certainly don't have the same ability to just switch around players for their strengths and weaknesses. They all have to play.
Yeah, Peru has a 5-man team versus the US 6-man team, the 6 being the full team.
Yeah, and all 6 of the US teammates are extremely good. There's no bench warmers there. They're all very much off the bench. It's actually 5 hidden hard rocks, Patchkin being the only one going single mod. This mod showing is very impressive, considering Peru's seed, but, well, against a team that's going 100% mods, it's a little bit difficult to make up that difference.
Yeah, Patchkin's going to be the first to find a miss here. Dinky holding an FC, so is Ala Magno with 95% accuracy. As you said, it's hard to compare. The US having a triple FC, and all of them are above 98% accuracy, as Patchkin finds another miss.
Yeah, though their accuracies aren't quite as high as they were in previous rounds, but still pretty good compared to Peru. Despite an early miss, Dinky and Alamagno still holding on relatively strong. It's just their accuracies are falling a bit behind. So I think it's at the level where they might have gotten a higher score if they just went single.
Yeah, Dinky has come up quite a bit from his 95 area, approaching 97% accuracy, but Alamagno is still in that same area. And the lowest score in the US is currently Cheese Salad with 98.5% accuracy.
Cheese Salad did end up missing and really tanking accuracy, but the score differential is a bit difficult to make up. It's still possible, but a bit less possible than this, though. Yeah, the US definitely going to blow past the threshold where you can beat them with only single mods. I think Peru would have had to basically match mods in order to have a chance of winning.
Oh, Alamagno missing now.
Yeah, this is really highlighting how consistent the U.S. roster is overall. Still a really solid performance from Peru, but yeah, it's hard to compete with the U.S.
It really is, yeah.
Fremont is always a bit of the higher seed bullying the lower seed.
That's sort of why the U.S. decided to ban no mod, most likely.
Yeah, it's a relatively safe map for them to ban. But that's also why lifting the free mod rules also does favor the higher seed teams usually more, because then they can just keep stacking mods. With the kind of restricted mod formats in previous free mod pools, it was a bit less of an issue, but usually still present, because the higher seed team usually had the better hidden hardware player. But Peru picking Hidden 1, which I don't remember seeing.
No, we have not seen Hidden Hidden 1 in the Poland versus Turkey A or
The match from yesterday, which was...
I forgot already. It'll come to me eventually, but
you and I have yet to see Hidden 1, so it's definitely something that's gonna... It's our first time seeing it.
Fabric Gamer being a double agent for Peru and the US, right?
He got the American secrets. He's gonna take them back to Peru.
Alright, so we have RJ back in, Miniland back in, Fabric Gamer coming in for the first time in this match, I think. Interesting that they would pick Hidden. I didn't think that they were much of a Hidden team. For the briefest of moments, that was, I think, the only time Peru has had a lead in this entire match.
Yeah, they had it for a second.
Yeah, Dinky missed right when it was about to flip over. RJ did fine misses, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think this is the most the US has struggled this match so far. Fabric Gamer finding a miss now too, so is Dinky.
It was a very funny decision to put the slow Hidden as Hidden 1 instead of Hidden 2.
They swapped him around this time.
I now understand why this has been banned in those matches. Yeah, it's just a brutal reading challenge. Mini Lamp doing exceptionally well with almost a mid 99% score, but yeah, everyone else is not having a fun time with this. The difference between the sort of cutesy song and almost half the players having like a B rank or C rank is really funny to me. But yeah, this is brutal. Yeah, RJ finding another miss. Midi Lamp still holding on incredibly well. Mini Lamp on his own getting really close to outscoring Peru's two bottom players there, but that's going to be a very solid win for the US.
indeed.
Alright, so the US has got to feel pretty good about that showing. and they will be advancing into round of 16 winners. Peru will still be continuing, but now in the losers bracket.
All right. Peru, unfortunately, not getting that 1 point they wanted, but we move on from here. Next, we have not the USA versus Turkey. We have Australia versus the Philippines in 5 hours, followed by China and Mexico. So you can expect those two matches in just about 5 hours from now. They'll be followed by each other, and then from there we will jump to tomorrow. And that's when we have our last stretch of matches to wrap up the weekend. We had quite a good few matches. Peru had a good showing, but it's really hard to go against. I mean, not only Peru, but those bottom few teams going against the top few teams. It's brutal. It's a brutal matchup. It's hard.
Yeah, they still did very well, and I hope that they will be able to continue doing well in the losers bracket.
All right, well, that wraps up
Everything for now. Again, we will see you in about 5 hours for Australia and the Philippines. Thank you for joining us for this stretch of matches. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you later for the Australia versus Philippines. Sayonara.